In my last video, I talked about cloth wipes in the bathroom. Today, I wanted to talk about using wipes or handkerchiefs for runny noses. So just like the cloth wipes in the bathroom, I found that once I started using cloth in place of Kleenex, facial tissue, whatever, I found cloth wipes to be far, far superior. Again, I started it as more of an environmental move and just found it to be so much better. When I first started using cloth wipes instead of tissues, I had not yet touched a sewing machine. So I bought these off Etsy, and I think I actually got them with my baby in mind early on for just having little wipes. They're super simple. It's just a piece of fabric that's serged. It's not even sewn. It's just a square that has been serged. This little pack had like a green one, a little giraffe one, another little animal one, blue one, and what I love about these as opposed to tissues is, I mean, obviously the environmental side of it, not having something that has had to go through a huge manufacturing pipeline to get to me that I just blow my nose and throw away. But also they are just so much nicer than Kleenex, facial tissues, whatever. Even the ones that say they put some sort of something in them to make them softer, which is questionable, I wonder. These are just so much softer just because they're cloth and not a piece of paper. Like if I have a cold, or if someone in our house has a cold and they need to use a bunch of tissues, our noses do not get all red and chapped. There's not a mess of gross tissues everywhere. These are surprisingly absorbent, and they're just far less gross than using facial tissue. Just like with the cloth bathroom wipes, I throw them in with our regular laundry and it is totally fine. The only things, honestly, that have come up with these is whenever we have colds in the house, because it's usually more than one of us, I always wish I had more. So someday I need to just sit down and like cut some more fabric. And the only other thing is that if someone comes to our house and they need a tissue, we actually don't have any tissues in the house. That's the only like awkward things that have come up with this. But other than that, these are so great, far superior, and have cost way less in the long run. Even in the short run, these were not expensive to buy, and you can easily make your own by just cutting pieces of fabric. They're great to bring on the go with you, so you have them and you always have tissues with you. Just keep ours in a little basket at home. You can use an old shoebox. Don't have to get very fancy with it. I used to like try to fold the tissues, and there is like a fancy way to fold them to come out of an old like reused tissue box, and that's super fun and cute, but I just did not have the inclination to do that for very long. So I just throw them in a basket, and it's easy. They are wonderful. And that's all I have to say about that. If you do use tissues, if you do use tissues and you're looking to be environmentally friendly, just look for, companies with sustainable practices or that are getting their products from sustainable forests. You can usually recycle the, there's a word, box, or there's lots of fun reuse projects for tissue boxes as well. That's all I have to say. Just kidding. I have one more thing I want to add, which is obviously I know this concept is not new. The idea of a handkerchief, whether it's for blowing noses, wiping a forehead, or whatever, I know that's been around for forever. The reason I didn't bring it up before is, at least when I think of handkerchiefs, and I don't know if this is everyone, I sometimes think of like a really overly used piece of cloth that doesn't always sound most appealing. When I take these on the go or use them at home, we kind of use a new cloth each time we need it, just like we would with the bathroom wipes that I talked about last week. If I'm bringing them on the go, again, I just bring along a bag for the clean, fresh ones, and then for the used ones. I think the idea of the handkerchief and just kind of like stuffing it back in your pocket when you're done blowing your nose, I know is not everybody's cup of tea. And so I just wanted to clarify that we kind of do that a little differently. And that's why I didn't kind of do the comparison to the handkerchief. So you can bring maybe like a bag for the new ones and then a bag for the used ones. And then you have them with you on the go. If you're doing that route, what is happening? Where are you going, sweetie? Oh, okay. Okay. I realize it's definitely next level bringing these on the go. But if you are planning on doing that, I just wanted to share that's how we do it. Just kind of still use one per nose blowing session. And then kind of move on to the next cloth. Just wanted to clarify. All right, thank you so much for being here. Your actions can and will make a difference.